get the gang right to the side sex. Leave the fire and the roof style stuff. I'm on the grind like we're chasing the stars. From Millmore to Du Valley, we've come so far. Talk about legends, yeah, we know the score. Ronnie and Bobby, we remember you more. From the highs of the Wembley fight to losing our trousers, still we ignite. Red and white with the pride, we're never gonna bow. Fighting like Millermen, hear the roar now. We're Millermen, we stand up tall. Through ups and downs, we give it all. From Millmore to Du Valley.
Good evening and welcome to your latest instalment of Midweek Millers here on KB Terrace Talk. I know what you're going to say. There's no Lee again, and it's myself who's hosting. Don't worry, Lee will still be here. As you can see, he's already commented in the comment section, which we'll go through in a minute. I'm hoping that Lee will do or will host the Millers Monday next week. And going forwards, we are going to stick to the same two shows, so Monday and Thursday. And then obviously when the season starts, you'll have a reaction to the game on Saturday evening or whenever it is. Obviously, we've had a couple of games that have changed times already. So that is what the schedule is going to be going forward. And just a little bit of housework. We are still looking for people to come and join our team. The number of people who are subscribing is going up and getting higher and higher. So we are wanting at least another, if you like, full-time person, if not a couple of part-time people where they can do the odd one. So yeah, just want to get that out of the way. Right. We've got lots to talk about, as always. But first, I'll introduce my guests, and I think it's their first appearance of the season, this one. So I'll start with the person to my right, OFC Tiny. How are you doing, matey?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, we've had a good summer of football, I suppose. Disappointing ending, but all in all, doing all right. Waiting for the season to start. But yeah, I'm all right. Cheers, pal.
Excellent. And Ben, I think it's your first appearance of this season for Rotherham. Yes, so how are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Dave. Really good to be back talking Rotherham, not about the other thing. So I'm really looking forward to this evening.
Good. Okay, right. What we'll do, because there isn't absolutely. I know I said at the start of the podcast there is, but there's not loads to talk about. So what I'm actually going to do first is we're just going to quickly touch on England last night. Obviously, myself and Lee watched the game last night, and then as soon as the full-time whistle went, obviously Lee kind of just wanted to go. I think he was probably expecting loads and loads of reviews coming his way, so he thought, better get out of here before that happens. So let's just touch on yesterday then. So I'll start with yourself, Tiny. So obviously England lost to Argentina 2-1. I've heard nothing but, people, everyone, it doesn't matter if you agree with this person, disagree with this person historically, everyone I've seen or spoken to has basically put the blame on the manager. Now, I'm going to come to you first, Tiny. I'm going to give an alternative view when it comes up to me. Yeah. But I'll come to you first, Tiny. So first, what are your thoughts on the game? Did Argentina deserve to win? And what's the reason England have been knocked out?
Well, starting off, we'll go from minute one. Minute one, we looked great. We looked great for a good large chunk of that game. We looked brilliant. We were attacking him. We were getting at him. They didn't have a kick, really. Messi weren't doing all. It was quiet. Watched it in pub. Messi were quiet. Weren't getting much at ball. We defended well, attacked well. The minute where it changes is when Gordon puts us 1-0 up. Brilliant. But I think it'd have been better off us going 1-0 down, to be honest. Because when Gordon puts us 1-0 up, Tuchel's first instinct is to bring defenders on, which It's all right doing it against like DR Congo and Mexico and all of them, but against Argentina, it really ain't gonna work. So the blame somewhat lies with Tuchel, but then again, I'm not gonna fully put blame on him because he has given us a good tournament this summer. Like he's given us a good run. We've had some good nights, the Azteca being one, so I'm not going to fully blame him, but last night, them tactics were very questionable. Bushy quoted, it were like we'd got Matt from Rotherham there, and to be fair, it did remind me a lot of Matt from Rotherham, stick 8 players behind ball. But yeah, it's very poor that. Should have just kept doing what we were doing. We were fine, no wrong with it. Kept ball, we were doing well, but it wasn't meant to be.
Okay. Ben, and your thoughts?
Well, it's. I'm here going on what Tani says. We first half are brilliant, but the second half, we go 1-0 up. We expected to do what we did all tournament, but then with about that last 10 minutes just totally changed. And I don't know why you go back to a back 5. I don't know why. I don't understand why.
Yeah. Is that it, Ben?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, is that it? So again, you're just fully blaming Tuchel as well, then, are you, Ben?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So what I was going to say about it, and I don't want to spend too long on this because obviously it's a Rotherham podcast, not an England one. So I still think the same as you lads. Like it doesn't look great that England were winning 1-0. The game was fairly even up to that point. Arguably England were in control slightly, arguably Argentina were in control slightly, but it weren't a one-sided game. Then as soon as England scored and then went back down to, the 5 at about the 6, about whatever it were, it was just wave after wave of pressure. And, I know Tuchel will probably say that he was only 5 minutes away from winning the game because I think it were 85 minutes he got to. But look, even a blind man could tell that Argentina were going to score. They hit the post, I think, 3 times. They hit the bar.
Yeah.
They kept shooting from long range, and there were shots on target. There were a couple of shots where the goalkeeper, Pickford, had to get down and palm wide. So I think where I'm annoyed at the fact that he didn't seem to find out where the danger was coming from and then trying to cut down that threat. All he seemed to do was just throw defenders on. Now, where I do disagree a little bit with people just having to go at Tuchel is sometimes it's not the manager who kind of sets you to set up defensively. Argentina were that desperate for a goal that I don't know if you noticed. At one bit, they took off like a defensive midfielder and put on like an attacking midfielder. So when they made their first change, it was the number 5 Paredes, defensive midfielder, and he came off for Nicolas Gonzalez, who's like a right winger stroke, left winger stroke attacker. And I just think that change confused England, and it just meant that every time Argentina had possession of the ball, even if it was deep in our half, they had options. He could go out right to because it was a bit like Argentina had everyone going forward bar 2 players. They only had 2 players at the back. So it does look like they're almost overloading England. And I think that's where we kind of struggled. We struggled to kind of deal with it. I actually rate the Argentina manager. I think the Argentina manager, and I said this before, that I think he's the best manager at the tournament. And I only really spotted it. So I did one of the live watch-alongs myself. Early part of the World Cup, and I watched Argentina, and I think I can't remember exactly what happened in the game, but I think Argentina was struggling to rate the team down they were playing. Then they did some tactical changes and they won 3-0. And to me, that's what makes a great manager. He's still a young guy as well. He's only ever managed Argentina, so he could be there for a long time. So yeah. Just lastly, just one answer question: Are you reasonably happy with England's progression in this World Cup, or do you think they should have got to the final, Tiny?
Yeah, I'll take it, I suppose. On to 28.
Right. Ben, yourself?
Yeah, I think it's a progress, but we need to sort out later in the stage, just like semi-final and final, so we can get over the line.
Okay, fair enough then. Right, okay, let's get on some comments first, because there's quite a few coming in. And as I said last week, so we haven't got loads to talk about. So if you can send in as many comments as possible and we'll answer them, because that's what happened last week. It actually helped us get in for the full hour. So hopefully we can do that again. So Callum IFC, I'm not going to talk yesterday, really annoyed me up the Millers. Yeah, well, we've talked about that already, and we've obviously moved on now, Callum. Yeah, up the Millers. Kenny Wilson, is Nombe going to MK Dons? I believe that is the case. I'm not 100% certain, Kelly, but I believe that is where Nombe is going. It looks like he's going to go for around 850 to £1 million, depending which article you read. And I think it'll be something like 850 maybe up front with 200 grand in installments, or 200 grand in bonuses, or if he scores this many goals or whatever it might be. But yes, that's what I think is happening. Peter Scott, have a good show, lads. Sorry I couldn't be on. Busy fucking, hopefully a new face in tomorrow. Yeah, so Pete, someone does mention it later on. Where is Pete? Yeah, he can't do today because he's going away early tomorrow and he's currently packing for his holiday. I don't know where he's going. I think he has told us, but you want to tell us where you're going, Pete, because the next person has asked you, where are you going? So we'll see if he comes back. Tom Swift, good to have the Millers show back lads. Miles Jarry recruitment with only 3 weeks of pieces left. I'll not on what is going off. Yeah, that was what Advertiser reported this week, that Carl Bissell could end up being on trial at Rotherham. What's your thoughts on that, Tiny? Carl Bissell on trial at Rotherham?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Like, he didn't when he were here last time, but he did job. But I just think never go back. We need to stop going backwards and think forwards.
Okay, fair enough. Did you actually like it when he was at Rotherham, Carl Bissell?
Well, he scored odd few good goals, like notable one against Hull and one against Peterborough. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough then.
I mean, he had a good strike on him, so pick up some goals.
Your thoughts on Carl Bissell?
Carl Bissell, is that he did score like an odd few goals there, but did he play for us that much?
He was there a couple of years.
Yeah, but I think he'll do better with his new club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. King Bush, evening lads, evening Lee. Hope you're well, sir. Did Wilkes reply? I don't know, Kay. I wasn't on that show when you were asking about Wilkes, so I'll let Lee answer that when he's next on. Big Jim, where's the voice of reason? Yeah, I thought we had a question about Pete. Yeah, as I said, Big Jim is he's going away tomorrow really early, so he needs to make sure he packs tonight. Samuel, 3 result season starts with Rotherham get a full squad in time, and I think Sam, no is the answer. I was at Emley on Tuesday, and I think we saw maybe 3 first teamers in the game, and that includes Douglas across the first teamer as well. So yeah, we need a day where we sign 5 or 6 players on the same day. We have to have that. Otherwise, we are struggling. Pete, good to see Ben and Tiny on the show. Good mix-up. They have a bit of praise for you two there. David Jones, the Bolton Wanderers fan. Argentina deserved it. You can't sit back with half hour to go. It isn't League One. Tuchel cocked up, but he's still the guy taking them forward. Interesting, okay? As I said, David, a lot of fans share the same reasons as yourself. You know, he was responsible for the tactics. He was also for the subs, and he made what he thought was right. Interesting, you say he's still the guy to take England forward. Is that you? Is that your opinion, or is that because he's obviously come out and said that he's going to stay? Just wondering, David, which way that is. Romoff, evening, or hey up, lads. Evening, Romoff, hope you're okay. Millers and more. Move on, it's part of our heritage not to win. Yeah, that's true, it is. Romoff, I'm Scottish like, but I've got to say it's on the mind totally. Winnable game, plays up for it, so can't blame mentality as England look better going forward. Tuchel's got to go. Okay. What Scotland you from? That's to Romov, Kingbush. Come on, Vez, he's still been awful and allowed them to bring more forwards. I know we had 7 defenders on at once. So, yeah, I do agree with that, Tom. Lee. But as I was saying, sometimes when you're in a game, it is hard to stop. It's that good at attacking Argentina. It's quite difficult to stop anyway. What I was trying to say were, even if you'd kept like the same 4 defenders, same 5 midfielders, the 1 striker, whatever it might be, you may still have had the same issue. But we'll never know, we'll never know. Romoff from Peebles. Russ, evening, boys. Evening, Russ, hope you're all right. Kingbush, not happy first since I replayed. We lost that good enough. And that is one thing that annoys me, Lee, to be fair. England, I don't think in my lifetime I've ever beaten a top quality nation in a knockout game. I think we've lost them all. I don't think we've beaten one. We did beat Argentina in like a group stage game, but that was a group stage game. So yeah, we don't manage.
To be fair, we beat Germany. We did beat Germany at Wembley.
At Wembley, yeah. To be fair, we did. Yeah, 2-0.
Yeah.
But I felt you're right. You could say that is one, but I felt Germany weren't a very good side then, personally. But yeah, you could use that as one. To be fair, when's next transfer door? I don't know, Kaylee. I'm expecting transfers every day at the minute, and every time I get to end of day, it's another day gone without a transfer. So. Rome of 850 to $1 million is business, to be fair. Yeah, okay. Again, yeah, it's a right number, aren't you? So for a minute there, I was thinking it was worth 850 million, but you mean 850k. Yeah, it's okay, Rome. If it does mean we've lost on money there because we spent over $1 million on him. So we have lost 300 or 400k, which is not like Rotherham, to be fair. They do normally recuperate money that they've put in. So, but like you said, he's out of contract end of season. So it's good that we've managed to recoup most of it back. Kaylee, when will it be announced for Nombe? Again, I don't know, Kaylee. It could be anytime this week, could be anytime next week. I'm not sure. Millers and Moores, he's talking to Rome off there. That's where he's going. Pete is going to Disneyland Paris. Is James going to Doncaster? Apparently he's on trial, Kaylee, so he may be. Kingbush, Calvasill is past. It wasn't good enough in his prime. It's another crap cheap option. And unfortunately, I agree with Lee there. I don't want him back at all. If he sells back to a few pre-season, then we'll sign him. That Peter goal was one of my all-timers. Yeah, it was a good goal. So if he had the overhead kick, if you like, in the box. Calvasill bicycle kick is the only memorable thing he did at Rotherham. Yeah, I think that's probably true. He did score a lob at Oxford, which was a decent goal, to be fair to him.
And that one against Hull from throw-in when he volleyed from corner. Hull in FA Cup.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Did you go to that game, Tiny?
Yeah.
Who scored for Hull that day?
Tom Eves scored hat-trick.
Tom Eves twice, didn't
he? Yeah.
Hat-trick.
They loved him, didn't they, all fans as well? Jesus. Best, can you just leave? He replied, yeah, I've asked him. I'm just waiting for his response. Kingbush, no, bring pace on. They wouldn't be able to press us that deep as they would fear the pace on the break. Yeah, I agree with that. They should have got Rashford on. He's probably the quickest, so they should have got that. Where is Lee? Lee's in the comments, Kaylee. He's just, I think he's away at the minute. I think he's gone to see his dad, who's obviously, he's not very well at the minute. Romoff, we had him for 2.5 years though, and he hasn't got us anywhere. So to get the majority back is good for me. Yeah, I agree with that. Romoff, that's fine. Nombe will be a good play for MK and Paul Warren. You're probably right. Kaylee probably will. And Tom Swift, Nombe totally operated. Hopefully get 600k plus add-ons. Yeah, hope you're right. Let's just talk about Sam Nombe first. I'll come to you first then. So it does look like Sam Nombe is on the way out of the door, and it does look like we are going to get about 850k for him. What's your thoughts? Would you like to keep him, or are you happy for him to go? Well, where do you see it?
I mean, the question is Nombe going to be good for League Two? Which I think yes, because he can bag the goals in. It's absolutely brilliant. So I would keep it. Are we expected to sign any strikers though? That's a question.
Well, I hope so, because we've only got one striker. And to that one striker, when I was at the game at Emley, it was so difficult to see which player were which, because some players had numbers on the back, some didn't have numbers, some had numbers that it weren't their number. So let's say, for example, the normally number 8, they were wearing like 38. So it was difficult. But what I would say is, a player that did stood out was we had this number 7 on the left-hand wing. So he was actually our side, and it turns out that was Fabio Tavares. He actually looked really good. So that's the only striker they've got at the minute, Fabio Tavares. So we need at least 3 then.
Yep.
So what's your thoughts then?
Yeah. My thoughts are, I think we should keep him until we can get a striker that could pair up with him.
Okay. So would you risk keeping him and then potentially losing him on a free at the end of the season?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Tiny, what about yourself? Do you agree with that? So Ben is, because I kind of get what Ben's saying. It's because we haven't got any strikers. He wants to keep him, but it does mean that he may end up being here at the start of the season, and then he will lose him on probably a free next year. What would you rather see happen?
I'd rather sell him, to be honest. I don't think his heart's sweet at Rotherham, so just get rid, to be honest. Yeah, towards back end of last season, could tell. But yeah, I'd sell him now. 900k is a steal. So you know what? I'd sell and then use that money and invest it wisely and bring in another decent quality League 2 striker in who can guarantee his goals.
Okay, so you saying that the 900k, is that a good fee from Rotherham's point of view, do you think?
Yeah, from what we've had previously, we've always lost. Well, we've majority of time lost money on players because we've let them run the contracts down. For example, Victor Johansson, could have got more for him. Could have got more for Barlasser probably. Could have got more for Crooks or Jay, them types of players as well. All went on frees or for very low fees. So yeah, sell him, get money into it, do it.
Okay, fair enough then. You got a couple of you agree with yourself, Tiny. So Pete's got good riddance, see you, Nombe, put the tools down last season. So he thinks that, I think he's almost saying that he don't think Nombe worked hard last season. Do you think that's right, or is that harsh, Tony?
Well, compared to the season before, but then again, he did have Malik Wilks to link up with him, and I've said it, potentially Malik Wilks made him look good, because obviously with Wilks, quick and he literally ran through defences last season, Wilks, and then him and Nombe linked up really well. But since Wilks went, and obviously it's mainly been Nombe who's been the star player, if you want to call anyone that, from last season, it didn't look that good. I mean, he got 2 against Bolton, but I reckon that would be because Bolton were in for him in January, so I reckon he were doing it to prove a point that he should have been sold to Bolton.
Okay, interesting. Let me ask you, Ben, then. So while we're on Nombe, when we first signed him, for over £1 million, were you excited to see him come in then, or were you a bit, I'm not sure about this being our record transfer? Like, where did you sit when we first signed him?
I mean, I was excited, to see a fresh face coming into the squad, but I think he's kind of dived down a bit, gone down a bit, particularly last season. So I was very excited to see him at first, to be honest.
Okay, and have you been disappointed with him then? So he's obviously at Rotherham 3 years. 3 years or 2.5 years, sorry, is it? I don't know. He'll have been at Rotherham 3 years. Is that ended up being a good transfer or a really bad transfer in your opinion?
Really good transfer. Really good.
Okay, fair enough then. Tiny, what are your thoughts? Good transfer, bad transfer.
When he came in, we were in Championship, weren't we? And I was like, £1
Yeah.
million for someone who's alright. He's done all right for Exeter, but can he do it at this level? I think we could have got a better striker for £1 million, to be honest. And I believe Taylor only paid £1 million because he wanted to help his former club out. From what I've heard, apparently that non-bay money kept them afloat because they're fan owned, aren't they? So struggle financially. That money kept them afloat. So there could be a bit of that behind it, but I don't know. I'm £1 million for him. I say we paid well over odds. I reckon about £500,000 would have been fair enough, but £1 million,
Okay, fair enough
no
then.
chance.
Right, fair enough. Then let's move on then from Nombe. So, Big Jim, Cash and Nombe don't want to be here. Rome off, hey up Tom. Say hello to everyone, each other. Nombe can't stay fit and totally overrated. We need at least 3 strikes in. Yeah, I agree, Tom. That's what I've said as well. Hey up. Missed one there. Where have we gone to there? It's just jumped. Hey up, Rome off there. Russ, no respect to Vassell, but come on, it's scraping the barrel for me. Does anyone actually want to come or what? No standing out for me at the minute to convince me we're going to be a force. But hey, I may be wrong. But 3 weeks ago, I don't see in a rush on paying money. Another season of loans and freebies. I'll reserve judgment and give it till November. Thoughts on that, Tiny? I mean, I have to say, I think
Facts.
with England playing, I think Rotherham have probably got away with not much noise on social media because fans have been just talking about England and can England win it. So I just wonder then if in this next week, the fact that England are out and people will now get talking about their own clubs, I wonder if there will be a lot of noise made in the next few days. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with Rotherham?
Yeah, I do, to be fair. Yeah, I agree with him. We've got, apparently as well, we've got Tom Lees on trial. It was good about 10 years ago. But yeah, Tom Lee's on trial as well. That's scraping the
Was
barrel.
Tom Lees that got sent off when we played them in lockdown season?
No. So did I?
It were.
I thought you were a Rotherham player that got sent off anyway in lockdown.
No, there were 2 red cards. One in our game at home, and then one in game we won 2-1 in last minute. I think it were Werner who got sent off. Borner, whatever his name was. German centre back.
I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was Michael Smith because he had his shirt off, didn't he?
Yeah, it was Smith. It was Smith at Hillsborough. It might have been Tom Lees who got sent off. I don't know, but yeah, he's on trial with us apparently, and that really is scraping barrel. That is scratching straw.
I am lucky to see who got sent off. Ben, what's your just Ben as well? Can you come closer to Mike, Ben? I think you're a bit soft.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So Ben, what would your thoughts be on Tom Lee? So do you think that'd be a good signing or not?
I mean, how old is he? That's the question. How old is he?
Tom Lee's, I'll tell you now, Tom
34, 35.
He was born in 1990, so he'll be 36.
36.
He's 36 in November, yeah.
36. Would we, if we were to come in, would we get him on a year contract?
I imagine so, yeah.
Probably.
So, yeah, what 35? Somebody's just said.
Yeah, 35 is, yeah.
I mean, has he played League Two football before? That's the
I don't know. It could have been when we were coming up from that level. I don't know though.
He's played League One for Bolton.
35 is way too old in my opinion. Though
Yeah.
I think you get away with 32, 33 max. I think anyone above that is too old personally. I've just checked. It was Tom Lees who got sent off against Rotherham.
Yeah.
So yeah, good spot that. Right, I read today that Yati's going around for 500k League Two bagsman. Yeah, that's the Notts counter striker, isn't it? Physical striker. don't know if that's the sort of striker we'd want. I don't know, but 500k seems like a lot as well to me for that sort of striker. Do you think he'll play under four like numbers, a 4-1 player? So saying is, do you think that Sam Nombe is like a similar style player to 4-1? I don't personally. What do you think, Tiny?
Well, under Warney we had Smudge, didn't we? He went main striker. We had Ladapo.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too sure, to be honest. Like, I mean, to be fair, in that team, because they are building a great team, MK, give it to him.
Oh, yeah.
In that team, he might actually do something next season. You've got Barlaser feeding your balls through. Wow. Like, I think, yeah, it could be alright for him, but I don't think he is a Paul Warren player. I think players around him will help him a lot, though. He was at MK Dons as well previously. He's been at MK before.
Yeah. Okay. Right, moving on then. Off a play, yeah, I think he was very popular with fans. A little bit inconsistent, which is probably why we're at Rotherham and not higher up. But yeah, he was good. Was Wilkes? He's a 50-odd game. Yeah, that's what I just said. To be fair, and that's the reason why we had him at Rotherham, because I think he was a little bit too inconsistent, unfortunately.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bez. Did he play for Blackpool and all?
Who's this?
Tom
Will.
Lees.
Tom Lees could have done. Why asking if he played for Blackpool? What's the reason?
I just think the club that just came into mind.
According to his senior career, he's only played for 6 clubs in his career. Leeds United, Accrington Stanley on loan, Bury on loan, Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield and Peterborough. That's it.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Did he not play for Bolton?
Doesn't say that on here. No.
Well,
Yeah, he doesn't say that on here. So, yeah.
If he were at Accrington, then he'll have some sort of knowledge about League Two and Bury.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Yeah, Warren will stop his answering a few training sessions. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. Sam Nombe was a waste of money and scored 20 goals in 3 years. A bit harsh, but those are the facts in a way. Didn't score that many goals. When he's your record transfer, you expect more than that, to be fair. Romoff, always remember when we got nominated from Exeter, look at the top players in that team. Josh Key, Jay Stansfield, the other striker that got shifted on after yeah, and you're right, they did have a good side. I remember watching the Exeter versus Plymouth game. I think Plymouth won the game, but Exeter had some quality players in that side, to be honest with you. Tom Lees is 35. Yeah, thanks, Romoff. Thanks for that. We need an old head, though, if we are honest. We've got young defenders that are rubbish. And this is one thing I was going to ask you, actually. So, Ben, I was at the end of the game and we were talking to the goalkeeping coach, and we ended up talking to him for a little bit, actually. And it does appear that Rotherham do need some experience. Do you agree with that, especially at the back?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we need that League One, League Two experience. The players that have been coming up from League Two to League One. No, sorry, we phrased that. The players that have had League Two experience and have gone up, I think we need that in the squad so they know what they're doing in League Two, so they're fully prepared.
Okay. Wouldn't go anywhere near him, so I think that's very to Tom Lees. That's what I think we probably agree on. A bit too old for our liking. Not saying Lee's the only one, though. Okay. We can't keep having these 30-plus players. We need some young, hungry talent. Where we are going, we'll be trying to get Delroy faces right. And the thing with that as well, Russ, is that Ty said earlier, one thing that is frustrating with Rotherham fans is that they constantly want ex-players, ex-managers, ex-this, ex-that to come back all the time. I don't think you see that in any other club where players are really good at another club, and yeah, they might come back at the end of their career to that club, but it's very rare that clubs are trying to sign just players that they've had before. Just needs to do Rotherham. Go on, Ben.
Yeah, I know. I was just agreeing with you, but Bez. I mean,
Okay.
when I was at Parkgate, I think that Brandon Williams were a trialist, and I thought he played all right. To what the scoreline was.
Yeah. Okay. Tom Smith, so much for the better striker we can get if we sell season tickets. Yeah, that's true, Tom. You all knew that was like just a way to get them to sell tickets, don't we? Pete Scott, we're missing a proper old centre half. Yeah, I'd agree with that. We are. Realm off. I'd rather spend money on 2 great centre backs over a decent deal. Yeah, I think that's probably right. Tom Smith, we need an experienced spine at centre back, CM striker, and one of them needs to be a captain stroke leader. Yeah, I completely agree, Tom. I think you're right there. Realm off, build the team around them. Yeah, agreed. Russ, we can't even attract McCoy Longstaff, who's gone to a club in St. Division in Salford City. It's embarrassing. How are we supposed to afford League Two and like Salford have attracted a cracking striker, irrespective of the class of 92 being behind them? Salford are bigger catch than us and unthinkable 15 years ago. And I think you're right. What do you think of that, Tiny?
Yeah, that is correct what he said there. We are there a bigger force than us now, but at the end of the day, I think players are more than likely going to go to you if you've got class of 92, obviously, like with that. So I think that'll be a big part in attracting these players, because like they're going to think, oh yeah, they're going to be watching me games, so I want to play there. And then you could be even more deluded as a player and think they could get me in at Man United.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm taking piss there a bit, but yeah.
Right then, let's just move on.
It does play a part.
This is the first time actually we've done a podcast where we've had someone who was at the Parkgate game and someone who was at the Emley game. So let's quickly talk about them. I know Parkgate was over a week ago, but let's talk about that first. So Ben, obviously you was at the Parkgate game. What were your thoughts on the game, the performance, some of the individual players? Just give us a review of the game and a roundup if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant atmosphere as always there. Nearly 1,000, but I mean the players, that Fabio Tavares, he played good. That Brandon Williams, I was quite impressed with him. There were a couple of trialists there, but yeah, I mean we only scored in 87th minute, but it was I think it was a good run out for lads. They got really tested against Parkgate to only come out with a 1-0 result. I think they've got really tested on that day, on that Friday.
Did Rotherham create many chances?
No, I mean, yeah, but there weren't like fascinating chances. I think a trialist, I think somebody scored it with a header. So yeah, I mean, it were good. It were good, but I think we would have liked to score more goals in that game.
Okay. So that's your Parkgate. So I'll just quickly talk about Emley. I've already done an after-match reaction anyway, and the thing is, I assume it's probably similar to the Parkgate game as well. To be fair, but you couldn't really judge Rotherham on that game at Emley because, as I said, there were only 3, maybe 4 first teamers who actually made an appearance. And the interesting thing for me was that Adebayo played pretty much the 90 minutes. I think he got brought off with like 10-15 minutes to go, but he was the only player who seemed to do over an hour. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know if Rotherham, the management team, are trying to have a look at him, maybe they're trying to get him out on loan. I don't know, but we did find it interesting. Me and my friend I went with, we found it interesting that that he did stay on at the whole game, whereas others did come off. So, but apart from that, you couldn't really, there were nothing, didn't really learn anything, to be fair. I did say that it was hard to tell who the players were because some had numbers on, some didn't, some had different numbers on than what they will probably get when the season starts. We had a number 7 who did look good, and he set the goal off. He kind of did an amazing run on the left-hand side, cut it back, and it was a good finish by one of the youngsters, and that was Fabio Tavares. So Fabio Tavares did look probably our only danger on the day. I did say that I'd spoken to Hamish Douglas, and I don't know if you know, but he lives in Wickersley, and he says he goes in Masons quite a lot, which I thought were quite funny. And then we were speaking to the Manchester United coach, and we were trying to get something out of him with regards to the goalkeeper. He won't budge on anything. It does look like we are trying to sign a goalkeeper, but it looks like it will be a backup to Ted Can, unfortunately. And what was frustrating was that the goal that Emily scored was a Can error. He was way off his line, and the Emily player scored from about 50, 60 yards and lobbed it straight over him. So it wasn't a great look for Ted Can at all. So if we are going into the season with Ted Can as a goalkeeper, I think we could be struggling, unfortunately. Let's just carry with the comments. So, Tom Smith, Josh Benton on Chester, by the way. Would either of you two kept Josh Benton or just get rid of him when we had him? Tiny.
Well, I mean, with injury record, it's not good at all, but he did score some goals when he did play, so fair enough. But yeah, I wouldn't have kept him. To be fair, I think last season's team is just one to draw a line under and forget about, to be honest, because it were a very poor season.
Agree.
And I think we could see similar this year potentially with the way it's going.
Okay. I mean, he's an interesting one. Obviously, he has got the quality, but he's not going to play more than 20 games for whoever he signs for, is he? Let's face it. Don't know whether they're going to sign him or not, Chesterfield. I've not seen, but the fact they've not signed him yet may suggest that he's going to be a trialist and then just leaves. We don't know. Romov, I can understand logic behind myself from what I've read. He's been training well and scored, but they've got Eves who got 10 goals last season. And there's Will Keane as well, who would be a better option. Yeah, so Will Keane is another free transfer. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't want any of these players personally. That Will Keane is someone who always seems to score against Rotherham, but I think he's like 33, 34 now. And yeah, he might do a job in League Two. But again, I think surely we want players who are going to not be good for League Two, but be good for League One. And I think Lee mentioned this on one other podcast. Like, he doesn't want to sign League Two players. He wants us to sign players who will be ready for League One in under 12 months, because that's where we could be. But yeah, and if that's the case, few players like Vassell and Will Keane, they're not really the answer. But if we're not careful, we're going to go into this first game with literally 10 youngsters and one full-time player at the minute, which is worrying. Romov, Langstaff's on about 8k a week, that's why he went there. To be fair, Salford can only pay a portion of his wages. Like in League One and League Two, you do have financial fair play, and you can only offer a max, I think it's 7k a week. That's the max that any team can actually offer. So you're right, he might be on 8k or 10k, but Salford can only pay up to 7k. So same rules for everyone. And because of that, I think Rotherham probably could have signed him. I mean, Tiny, who would you rather have out of these two players if you could sign one? Macaulay Langstaff or the player from from Wrexham, Paul Mullin. Which of the two would you sign?
Langstaff, because he's younger than Mullin.
Okay.
Mullin went to Wigan last season and did not.
He did, but we are in League Two, aren't we? Not League One. He did score. He scored like 20 odd goals for Wrexham in League Two.
Yeah, true, but that was 3 years ago now, so I don't know how we'd do today, but could get a punt, I suppose.
Ben, who would you prefer out of the two?
Was it Macaulay Longstaff and Yeah, Macaulay Longstaff for me.
Longstaff. Okay, fair enough then. Roma, apparently that Furlong didn't do a lot, and obviously he didn't play, I don't think, in our game. So he's on about your game, Ben. So apparently, what Charlie's James Furlong? Did you recognise him? Did he play well?
I didn't recognise him. I think he was there, but I didn't recognise. I didn't
Right.
because I think he made like a not numbered shirt on his back, so I couldn't recognise him for it.
Okay, fair enough. Apparently, Parkgate's number 7 have had them in his pocket. Is that right, Ben?
I think so. I think.
Okay. Russ, could be a pathway though, that tiny mate, for a player going to Salford. And it takes a good young standout player to impress regular, and the connection could be there to even have a trial at Man U. So fair point, tiny mate. So I think he's agreeing with your point there, Tiny. And that is a good point actually, because obviously Salford is in Manchester or around Manchester. It is like a quick link to a Manchester club, I guess. I'm not saying that any players who play for Salford are good enough to play for the two Manchester clubs. I don't know if you ever watched the Salford, the series they did on BBC and Sky.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called now. It was called the
Class of 92, yeah. Class of 92,
yeah. And it were interesting that they had, when they first took over Salford, when they were like in lower leagues, they did like a trial where they got loads of youngsters from around the areas to come in and show what they're capable. And I can remember Phil Neville said that one youngster looked really good just because he could roll the ball really well. I can remember him saying that, and he ended up getting a trial at Man United. So there is that option, especially for youngsters who will go there to potentially link to Manchester clubs. YCC and IFC, how concerned are you all that any incoming signings going forward will not be match fit for the first league game? I'll start with you, Tiny. How concerned are you?
Well, it is concerning that he's come out and said he's giving him a week, which could be a fair point, but it's a bit dodgy, if you get me. Like, normally when players come in, they normally play the pre-season games to get fitness up and to build themselves, but it's a bit dodgy. Jealous or the one from MK Dons, Nemane or something. Yeah, Nemane. It's weird how they haven't made an appearance yet.
Okay, fair enough then. Then, about yourself, I mean, we've already raised concerns about the fact we've only got 15 players. This is a good point, is it not? The fact that anyone we bring in now, they've only got 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, well, I think they have got two weeks left, and we need to get, I think, 5 or 10 in before the first league game at Cheltenham. But the thing is, it's the League Cup before that against West Brom. So ideally, we need to get players in before the West Brom match.
I'm dreading that West Brom game.
Why are you dreading it?
Could be a cricket stuff. Well, if we're fielding like loads of youngsters, we're only a handful of first team players, and they've got quality.
I'll tell you what then, Tiny, right? Let's go through what the potential starting lineup could be as of today. I think it's not as weak as you think. So you've got your Ted Kennel, your goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We'll go with 4-3-3 because I do think he's playing. Right. So your right back will be Rafferty, who's good at this level. Yeah. Agreed? We ain't got a left back, have we? We ain't got a left back, have we? We only got one left.
No, we haven't got a left back.
So that's going to be a unfortunate youngster. Your centre halves are going to be
Adebayo and Agber, probably.
Haven't we signed him? Who isn't there another one? I thought we'd signed a centre half.
Is that Ashley? Is that Ashley?
He's midfielder. He's midfielder. So you're looking at Douglas then and Adebayo. Oh no, Agber. I'd say Agber. Yeah. Again, that's not terrible, is it?
Not bad, but against a championship team, it could go wrong.
Okay.
But yeah.
And then three midfielders, you've got your Jamie Ellis, who's there. You've got the Ash lad, and then Keon Spence, right?
Yeah.
That's a good midfield. And right wing, I don't know if you've got right wing. Your left wing's going to be Fabio Tavares, and your right wing, I don't know. Can you think of anyone who's there now? Can you No? I'm going to look at the squad now. Denzel Hall. So Denzel Hall will be right wing. Yeah?
Well,
Denzel Hall right wing.
I've seen rumours that he might be going as well, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah. But I said if it was played now is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah, fair
Well,
enough.
anyway, if you play the new lad, Aaron Nemane, don't you? He's a right winger. So obviously he'll be right wing. And then left wing will be, so I'm changing it. Left wing will be, what's his name? The World Cup lad.
Johnny Martin.
And then your striker is Fabio Tavares. So you look at that too. It's not like horrendously bad, is it?
It's not horrendous, no.
No. Okay.
But obviously, like, if we took that team to Cheltenham, it's not bad. But even against a poor West Brom team, what you could call them, compared to what they were, I still think it could be like 2 or 3-0 to West Brom.
Okay, fair enough then. Kingbo's best player is a freebie from Burton, who was let go by there. Wow, so yeah, he's obviously not happy with the signings. As we kind of touched on earlier, I think Lee, and I half agree in a way, but we should be looking at players who are good enough for League One, not League Two. So I do agree with Lee there. And again, Ted Can first choice is embarrassing, and yeah, I agree. I don't rate him at all.
I'm gonna ask a question quickly, actually. So, say we get promoted this season, what's your expectations for League One? Because that's a weird one. Because normally I'd say obviously straight back up, but we're a newly promoted side if we get promoted. Yeah. So what is the expectation there?
My expectation of the top half.
Yeah, because we're notoriously a League One team.
Top half, I think it would be top half with that squad. To be fair, it's a little bit of an improvement on last year, but I'm not. If we do go back up, I'm not saying top 6 straight away.
What about you, Tyler? What are you saying, Tyler?
Well, it's got to be top half. I mean, but then again, it just depends who comes down from the Championship. Because it seems like over the last few years, teams coming down have increased in quality. Like you've got Leicester this year. Obviously, them lot down road have come down and they're on the way back. We've had Birmingham, we've had Cardiff. So it's like your smaller teams who get promoted from League One are starting to establish themselves in the Championship. And it's these teams that are bigger but are on the edge every season that are starting to come down. So the league's getting stronger. So I'd say probably about anywhere from 12th to 7th. It'd be a good year in League One next year.
Okay. I think Lee would disagree with you. I think
yeah, he'd say win league.
Top 6 at least. Tom Swift, we should sign that goalkeeper who was York's number 1 last season. He's a free agent and a good age. Again, I don't know who that is. Any idea who this is? Tony or Ben now?
No.
But yeah, that sounds good to me, Tom, to be honest. Roma, we can't win season with Ted as number 1. I agree completely. Benton is green, but legs made of Twizzlers. Yeah, agreed. Callum, I see 4-4-2 maybe. They should play start of season because midfield Spence and Jamie Ellis and Callum is on trial with us. Yeah, I don't think he will be. It's like 4-2-2. I don't know if he's 4-4-2 or 4-3-2. I'm not really sure. I think they will play with wingers and then 3 midfielders, Callum, personally. Pre-season is vital. Many footballers talk about how crucial pre-season is for a promotion challenge. Yeah, completely agree. What I would say, YCC, they're an IFC, and I don't know the answers to this. Obviously, Cambridge, they brought in over 20 players last season, won promotion. So I'd be interested to know at what stage they had the majority of their squad built. Like, was it before now? Was it a bit later on? So I don't think you can probably find out, unfortunately, but it'd be interesting to know if they had more of a squad at this point in pre-season. Because like I said, that's who we should be looking at, because they won promotion, having signed over more than 20 players.
Then again,
go on, Ty, sorry.
With Cambridge, they have Neil Harris as manager, and I'd imagine he has a lot of pull because obviously Millwall, he's been at Millwall, and so could imagine he can attract better players and more quickly than probably what Bruce can, who's inexperienced at the minute. But we'll just have to see what happens, won't we?
Yeah, okay. So Tom says Tyson Mill was the York goalkeeper, and I don't know who he is, to be honest with you. Obviously, York did win the league. So, yeah, could be a good signing. I'm not really sure, because I don't know too much about the lad. The players we have signed, Vez are not League One standard at all on paper. Yeah, unfortunately, I agree. I mean, what I would say is so the Jamie Jellis and the Salford kid, the Ashley lad, both articles that I've read on those two players were that League One clubs were in for them, and they've both chosen Rotherham over the League One club. So I don't know if that means they could be good enough for League One. I don't know. Fabio Tavares, I agree. He obviously struggled with Burton at League One, so he's probably a League Two player. But we've still got probably 15 more signings to come through the door at this rate. So hopefully, and most of them are a bit better standard than League Two, let's say. Tom Smith, 7K, as they get around with bonuses such as for goals, etc. Yeah, you're right, Tom. So Tom's on about Macaulay Longstaff's wages. They do get around it by increasing appearance fees, goal fees, etc. So you are right, Tom, there. Romoff, Mullin injury prone now, his back is knackered. Yeah, he is, to be fair. So I probably wouldn't sign Mullin, to be honest with you, because of that. It would be a injury-prone player. Russ would soon have an average player who will give you 4 to 46 games a season, as opposed to Josh Benson, who'll give you 1 game in every 6-7, and having a meal delivered to treatment room because he spends that much time in there. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Do you agree with that, Ben? So would you rather have a player whose quality only plays, 15, 20 games a year, or would you have an average player who gives 110% and plays most games?
I think I'll go for the first one, Bez. I think if we need to get out of this league, I think you need to have a player that scores 15, 20 goals.
Yeah, interesting. So Ben disagrees with you there, Russ. I probably would probably go with yourself, Russ, actually. I'd rather a player who does play for you. What about yourself, Tiny? Which way do you see it?
I'd rather a player who plays 40 to 46 games because it's about availability at the end of the day. We can't be turning up to places scrambling for players to fill bench. So, yeah,
fair enough.
Average player.
Yeah, King Mosh, nobody Salford are ever going to be good enough to go United. We have more links started than Salford, our background team. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Obviously, with Steve McLaren in the Man U goalkeeping coach, that's totally true. And it was interesting, actually, because the goalkeeping coach was, you're probably wondering how we got this goalkeeping coach at Rotherham, and it's because the guy lives in Harrogate or around Harrogate area, and he wanted a club what he could travel to easily enough. And that's why he kind of chose Rotherham. Obviously, it was Steve McLaren who was asked a favour of him as well, but he did confirm that he's doing it as a favour to Steve McLaren and also the fact that it's close to his home. So that's good. Romoff, it's funny how Salford are the expected big boys, but we destroyed him with our academy. Ha ha, yeah, that's true. Including Luke Fedorenko. Luke Fedorenko's a local lad who I know, so I don't really know what that's all about, to be honest with you. King Bush, I'm very concerned that Tony Stewart has lied again to the fans. We have some of the best season ticket sales that should have gone in the budget, but clearly hasn't. Salford are investing in the old turf, isn't? Okay. Thoughts on that, Tiny? So it's a dig at Tony Stewart.
I agree. I'm not forgetting Tony Stewart, even if we win promotion. can do one for me. Because if we win promotion, then it's on the squad and the manager. And Steve McLaren's now head of football, so it's nothing to do with Tony Stewart football. He's just money man. So yeah, from what he's done, and he's lied again. Yeah, he can do one, and these happy clappers will keep saying it, won't they, time and time again. But he saved the club in 2008. Sorry, but it were 18 years ago now. Times change, things move on. Unfortunately, Tony Stewart's still stuck in the past. Need some sort of investment, some sort of backing, which we're not getting. So fully agree with Bushy.
Yeah. Ben, yourself, do you agree with Bushy?
Yeah, I do agree with Bushy. I think, yeah, I do.
Fair enough. Romoff, every name you announce makes you more scared, but so he's referring to the 11 that we kind of went through earlier. And I said it wasn't as bad as what Tiny were making out. And it's still not a good side. I never said it was a good side, but Tiny was saying that he thinks we could lose 7 or 8-0. And I don't think we've got, it's not as if we're playing 10 youngsters. We will have 6, 7 first teamers in there. And we will lose the game. I have no question about that. But I don't think we'll lose like 6, 7, 8-0. I think it'll probably be a 2-goal margin. I mean, West Brom will probably not play their first team either, to be fair. It's only a League Cup game, isn't it? So, Lee just confirmed that side of centre-back. Yeah, that's right. And obviously saying the team's awful. Yeah, it doesn't rate. It doesn't look great, to be fair, Lee. I don't rate any of the signings so far. Again, it is hard, really, because the thing is, I think Lee does expect us to sign League One players, whereas I think it's a little bit unrealistic. Again, I'll start with you, Ben. Do you rate any of the signings that we've brought in so far? I know you've not seen them, but do you rate any of them from what you've been told or not?
Yeah, I do rate that Fabio Tavares. I do rate him. I haven't seen rest of the players, but
Okay, fair enough then.
I'm happy with him.
Tiny, yourself, do you rate any of the players from what you've heard?
It's alright. It's alright. I'll judge him more when I've seen him play in a league game. So yeah, we'll wait till August and I'll say more on that one. But yeah.
Okay. Tiny's bread is shut down due to fear. I'm not sure what that's about, Tiny. Hall is injured and he's going apparently. Then we were trying to work out how that other one was. It was Marta. And then he's saying it's horrific, mate. Come on, let's be real. I don't think it's horrific, as I said, but it's not great, but it's not horrific. Like I said, well, we'll see, won't we? Let's see if we lose 8 or 9-0. I don't think we will, but we'll see. What else we got? Fort Vale Rump League 2 and could barely win a game. Yeah, a couple of years ago, I think that was. If you compare the Fort Vale team to ours, we're off no comparison. I think you're probably right there, Tom. I mean, Fort Vale is way better. Okay. Yeah, but I want about them saying they expect us to do well if we go up. Okay. Port Vale, the other season, had a great squad, but got promoted, then got hammered in League One. Yeah, true. Back up dancing in League One, both are League Two standard. I think that he's referring to the signings there. To be honest, I think the club is waiting for the sale of Nombe or Hall. Possibly Romov, to get some better lads in. Yeah, it could be right there. So he's waiting so he can book a cruise. Yeah, it won't surprise you, would it? Luke was the reason we got Dan Gore, apparently. Luke Federico. I mean, okay. Luke Federico's a Sheffield United fan into league. Why would he get us Dan Gore? Tony loses more fans by the day. The squad currently is just 4. We got Derby and Sheffield play 3 seasons. I'd get rid of them both. How's it unrealistic? So for that diving quality we are signing rubbish. I'm not sure who he's talking to there. Even Chesterfield are making better signs. I'm not sure they've signed Chesterfield, to be fair. I had no idea if they've signed. Russ, fish and chips paid for now that of Tony Lampshade man saving us. He can't live off that, and we're in the now, not the then. Yes, he's referring to what you said, Tiny, about Tony Stewart saving us all that time ago. Yes, also Port Vale made better sides. So Lee thinks that Rotherham made the worst signings out of all the relegation sides, I think. He works for a football industry, very good mates Rob Scott. Okay, fair enough then, Lee. Fair enough then. Right, we've come to end of comments. It's been a bit of a weird stroke messy podcast. Obviously, there's not that much for you to discuss at the minute, which is why it's a little bit all over the place. So that one thing, then move on to something else and move back to it. So, but we'll leave it there. We've managed to do an hour. We aren't really talking about too much. So, firstly, I'd thank my guests. So, Ben, thank you very much for joining. Tiny, thank you for joining as well. As always, make sure you like and subscribe. Hopefully, the season's obviously ever close. It's only a few weeks away. So, hopefully, we can get more podcasts out and hopefully discuss some signings, because we've actually not made one signing since our last podcast, which is ridiculous considering we need at least 10 new players. So hopefully by Monday and then Thursday next week, we'll sign more players to kind of talk about. Basically, lads, everyone's making better signs than us. So that's what Russ is saying. I suppose us we will see come start of the season, won't we? So yeah, the Tiny Ben, thank you very much for joining. Thanks to everyone who's watching, and I really appreciate your chat as well. It's the chats that have kind of kept the podcast going today, because obviously there's a lot to discuss. So really do appreciate that. And we will see you, I believe, on Monday for Millers Monday. I'm hoping Lee is hosting that one. And I'll be a guest this time, because I've hosted the last few, so hopefully he's on that one. I mean, everyone in the chat is missing Lee as well, so hopefully you can get on and do that one. So once again, Tiny Ben, thank you very much. We'll leave it there. Up the Millers. Cheers, lads. See ya.
Up the Millers. See ya.